Ready Check Raideo.
Stand by as we get ready to serve up all your news this week in the world of gaming. Welcome to Gaming Gumbo. Hello, Internet, and welcome once again to Ghoulish Gumbo. It is the day before Halloween. Welcome to Gaming Gumbo here on Ready Check Raideo. I'm your host, as always, Mike Byrne. The pumpkins are here. We've got Nemesis. We've got Mario. We've got a Chernobog. We've got Castlevania's Dracula. The lights are down low. I've unzipped myself to relax a little bit and wrap up the week in gaming before Halloween. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, head on over to Ready Check Raideo. The site's right there. And in the upper right-hand corner, you have all the socials: Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. Click on it, subscribe, turn on those notifications, tell your friends. If you like all the shows and streams that we do here and you want to see more of them, that's the easiest and fastest way to support us, and it just happens to be free. A small programming note: on Mondays, we normally do Final Fantasy trading card game streams, whether that be live play, Octagon play, deck list reviews, things like that. We will be doing that on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern as scheduled, but I did want to put a little note in here for you FFTCG fans. Square Enix was kind enough to send us a spoiler for the Crystal Dominion set coming out next month. So we will be revealing that spoiler card on that stream. So if you're an FFTCG fan and you're looking at spoilers for the next set, you want to be here Monday. Of course, it wouldn't be a show or a Halloween show without my illustrious co-host. Let's start with Mr. Jason Winter. Wow, you got a little something like right there.
I was in like a little car accident, a little fender bender today, but I just got a couple scrapes, but I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you've had a rough day.
No, I mean, it's all right. I mean, just a little bit of flesh tearing off here. It's good.
It was a rough day.
No, it's fine. We will do the show. I wouldn't have wanted to miss the show.
Can you go for at least an hour? That's all. I just need an hour out of you, and then if you got to go to the hospital,
I might need a little more. Hang on, let me get a little more blood or something.
Just get some super glue. It'll be fine.
I don't want all my blood to drip out.
Yeah, don't do that. Also on the line, resident artist of Ready Check Raideo, Yod. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. I'm all hopped up on vaccines.
Yeah. You're not. You. Are you a Halloween guy? Like, do you and the missus? I know you do a lot of cosplay and stuff. So the dressing up, you guys.
I don't want to hear about how you and the missus dress up.
Really. Yeah. Yeah.
That's their own business.
That is not the dressing up that I was referring to. That was not the dressing up I was referring to.
Are you the prison guard or the prisoner? Which one do you
Oh, here we go.
It depends on the night.
Oh. He's like, is it Thursday? It's Thursday? Okay. All right. I know who's who. Oh, shit, it's Friday. Oh, I wasn't ready for this. All right, do got to put on the glasses so that I can see. We'll be scrubbing the glasses later. Should have put the contacts in, but whatever. Happy Halloween anyway. We've got our pumpkins. We're ready to go. We do have some gaming news. And you know what? In the spirit of being spooky, let's talk very briefly about Bobby Kotick. BlizzCon's canceled. I don't think anybody, is surprised by this one, right?
I actually thought they'd power through it.
Really?
Yeah, make it look like nothing's going on. It's all good.
Wow. No, I kind of thought they'd have to cancel this. Granted, they've been absolutely tone deaf about some things, right? They just added some stuff to the cash shop as far as mounts and in World of Warcraft. I mean, but they do. But if you look at that side, you're like, they got to maintain a little bit of business as usual, right?
It's not like they're doing it live. I mean, like in person. It was going to be online anyway, so I just figured they'd just play like it's all good.
Yeah, well, they did say that there's still going to be announcements around that time, but they're just not going to hold the show.
It's going to be the
shit.
same thing. You're going to see some videos, and the whatever O'Neill and the other person are going to talk, and there you go. That's what BlizzCon is now, because
Right.
you have people there.
Since
Right.
Metzen left, I don't really care.
Yeah, and they're also talking about like reevaluating what it actually will look like when it does start. Maybe revamping it a little bit. So
Maybe no Cosby Suite.
yeah, I mean that'd be a good start. Let's start there and not do that.
Right, it's gonna be the Cosby floor.
Oh God. Vicarious Visions fully absorbed into Blizzard. Again, news that is news technically, but I'm not surprised. It isn't often that a company gets absorbed into a company that's owned by a bigger company and they still get to keep their name.
Right.
But it did apparently come as a surprise to the staff. They were kind of just brought into a meeting and told, hey, we're not going to be Vicarious Visions anymore. I am kind of sad to see that name go and be replaced with, like what, Jason?
Blizzard Albany is what we're hearing.
Yeah, it's,
Probably.
BioWare Montreal, BioWare
Hey.
this, BioWare this. And it seems like Blizzard's going to do that same thing. But in bigger news, Bobby Kotick did take this week to pen a letter to the world outlining a number of changes that Activision Blizzard is going to make. And we talked about this in depth on the Always Online podcast, Jason and I. That is up on mmobomb.com. It's right in the homepage banner. You can go and listen to that after this show. We do go into a lot of detail about this there. To be very clear, I'll make the same disclaimer here that I did there. These are all very good changes. There is nothing bad about these changes. They are great things for the employees. What we are probably going to be a little more critical about, though, Jason, is the timing of the announcement of these types of changes, right?
Yeah, the fact that they have the financial statements are going to come out on Tuesday, I think. So it's like, well, why didn't you make these before? Oh, because Bobby Kotick saw how the stock prices, how the sales were probably being impacted by it, and then he decided that it was time to actually announce something and try to take actual real action.
Yeah, and some of these are real actions. Some of these do address, in part, some of the employee demands from the Better Activision crew and the employees. None of them fully address any of them, but they do, kind of sideswipe address some of them. What they're planning on changing is launching a new zero-tolerance harassment policy company-wide. Wow, brilliant. Brilliant.
Where's the butt?
No, there's no but there. It's just kind of like, why didn't you already have one? It's 2021.
Because there is no... So they all say they have it, and it's just a question of whether they enforce it.
There's the but, because the other week we talked about how 20 employees were cut and 20 were just reprimanded.
Yeah, and we brought that up on the Always Online podcast that I guess that happened prior to this zero tolerance policy, so they're okay. Yeah, we said the same thing, that the reprimands kind of contradict the zero tolerance thing.
See, there's always a but.
Always a but, I guess. You're right.
Just don't grab it, because that's against zero tolerance.
Yeah, that's true. They want to increase the percentage of women and non-binary individuals in their workforce by 50%, and they're going to invest $250 million to accelerate opportunities for diverse talent. That's going to be over the next 10 years to things like the already existing ABK Academy and other new initiatives. Based on feedback from employees, we are waiving required arbitration of sexual harassment and discrimination claims and any retaliation claims that are by proxy involved from a sexual harassment or discrimination claim. This was a big one on the employees' demand, was to remove forced arbitration across the board, Yad. They didn't get it in full, but they get it for sexual harassment and discrimination claims. Again, these are all good things.
Start.
But is it a start or is it the finish line? Like, is this they're not going to move any further than this, Jason? Like, this is the farthest they're willing to go?
Until something else comes up. Until they have to move further.
Until more financials come up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Depends on how much money they're losing.
Yeah, and that's speaking of money, they're going to keep regular updates and reports and progress stuff. But Bobby Kotick did ask the board to make his salary $62,500 per year. He claims that's the lowest California law allows for somebody earning a salary. And he did clarify that this is his total compensation. He's not going to get separate bonuses or benefits or anything like that. But, with the hundreds and hundreds of millions that he already gathered over the last 24 months and his stock, I'm sure he won't be subsiding on beans and rice anytime soon. I'm sure Bobby will be fine. And again, all of these are good things, Jason, but the financials are coming. Why weren't these done 3 months ago when you initially had a problem? And when you do something good, I've said it before, you should be doing something good without the expectation of reward or anything. That's the mark of a person, right, who does the right thing when nobody's looking.
Or a looming lawsuit.
Right. But
Suits.
But it was Suits, yeah.
Yeah.
But how about a year ago? How about 2 years ago? How about 5 years ago? How about 10 years ago? Like, when these claims started happening, where was the action then? Where was the action when you knew you were about to have this investigation launched into you and it wasn't public yet? And it hadn't been made public yet. Where was this then?
Yeah, because they've been gathering information for, 5 years?
Yeah, and it wasn't
2
like
years.
they just
2
did
years? Okay,
nothing.
2 years.
It wasn't like they just did nothing, by the way.
Yeah.
They came out, Jason, and basically accused the state of California of being flat out fucking liars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The first thing you do when you get something like this, you deny it. And then if you can't deny it, then you say, well, it wasn't that bad. And then you say, if it was bad, then it was isolated. If it was isolated, then we'll take care of it. So you go down the stages of,
Right.
and you see, where can we stop? Where does the PR, where do the fans start agreeing with us? And you hope
let's
that
forget
before
about
you get to
projecting.
the cost splitting. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't forget about projecting. Where no, I'm not doing this. You're doing it.
Nah. Well, I don't think
Like,
they accuse. Yeah, because kind of the DFEH is doing illegal stuff too.
Right.
apparently, so
Yeah, they've already accused.
Yeah.
Yeah, after
See?
Blizzard got
Yeah.
accused for shredding stuff, now they're like,
Yep.
the DFEH is throwing away evidence.
Mhm.
It's where was the salary reduction when it was either you reduce your salary or lay people off?
Right.
Where was your salary reduction when the shareholders, to a wide enough degree that you postponed a vote on your salary so you could swing a few more votes your way? That's how close that vote was. Where was your reduction in salary then? Nobody was asking you to go to $62,000 a year, but you didn't move at all then. So, yeah, you don't get a lot of the benefit of the doubt from me. Bobby Kotick is still one of the scariest looking individuals on the planet, heart and soul, like the whole package to me. So, yeah, that's your Blizzard update. I don't know. That's like part 40 now. I don't know. Whatever. Let's talk about Sony's State of Play, because that's actually a little bit more fun. We did not, however, see Final Fantasy 16.
did not.
And I know none of the three of us, like, truly, honestly, in our hearts expected it to be there. Some of us thought it was maybe a little more likely than other hosts, but all of us kind of agreed that, yeah, probably not going to see it. We would just like to see it. Square Enix was there, though. This show focusing on third-party developers. And honestly, Jason, when you say third-party developers, I didn't expect as many small companies in it. This was like, a lot of these companies for me are like just barely not indie anymore. Like they're just barely not an indie company. We got a little echo on your side there, Yod.
I am trying to fix it.
There we go. Cool. So before we get started with the actual State of Play and look at the games themselves, we do know now that obviously Sony's been making the push for PC and releasing their products, their IPs on PCs, which I think is fantastic. If you're one of those people that's like, it should have been PlayStation only, shut up. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Games are games. Play them wherever the hell you want them. Who cares? Who the fuck cares? I hate stupid stuff. But they have now actually label registration for PlayStation PC. So an incredibly apt title, I guess.
I mean, Xbox has the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X or whatever. PlayStation's like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PlayStation
their naming
PC.
conventions make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. So PlayStation PC.
Okay, they had the Vita too, but we'll ignore that.
And we do have a bunch of
Like everyone else did.
PlayStation releases coming for the PC soon. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It is kind of a change of pace for them though. Like if you think about it, like why haven't they been doing this for a while? And so hold on, I want to make sure I get the quote right here. This is from Video Game Chronicles, written by Andy Robinson, or Chronicle, written by Andy Robinson, talking to Jim Ryan at PlayStation about this. He's, why now? And he says, things have changed. A few things have changed. We find ourselves now in early 2021 with our development studios and the games that they make in better shape than they've ever been before. Particularly from the latter half of the PS4 cycle, our studios made some wonderful, great games. There's an opportunity to expose those great games to a wider audience and recognize the economics of game development, which are not always straightforward. The cost of making games goes up with each cycle as the caliber of the IP has improved. Our ease of making it available to non-console owners has also grown, so it's a fairly straightforward decision for us to make, which is all a lot of words to say, we like money. We're cool with money. That's a lot of words, Jason. We're cool with money.
We've realized we can't just have everything be exclusive forever because we'd rather make more money from other people.
So this is the common argument. Mad Martha is bringing it up in chat, and right. I care. I don't want my expensive PC playing downgraded games so that they can work on a dumb console. And you know what? Mad Martha being a little tongue in cheek, we've got the emote there and stuff. But that is a common argument you hear when you talk about development of games. So right now we're in that weird era, right, where we're taking PlayStation games and we're porting them over to the PC. But if you fast forward a little further down the line, when PlayStation PC is more well established, you do start talking about Sony now making games with the idea from minute one of it being both a console and a PC game. And you do have PC gamers concerned that when you develop like that, they might have a lesser experience than they could potentially have had because there are concessions being made for the console version of that title that impact your PC title. See Final Fantasy XIV for a prime example of how badly the PlayStation 3 impacted the development of the overall game, and you have a good example there. Jason, is that a valid argument? Is that a reason why you might want to still, in this day and age, segregate your business into either PC or console and just stay in your lane?
I think it could be because I think it's going to be more of an afterthought. I don't think it's going to be as much figured out when you're making the game that we want to. If we're making it for the PlayStation, we want to also make sure it'll be good for PC. I think that's going to be that's a we'll patch it in later kind of thing. That's how I think that'll mostly go. But I think overall, though, it still comes out okay. I think it's still a net benefit.
Yad, are you on the same page?
No, I think going forward, because the consoles every generation are closer and closer to just a PC sitting on its side with proprietary OS going on. So as we move forward, the power on a console and the power on a PC, unless you're dumping thousands of dollars every generation or several thousands of dollars every generation into a specific gaming PC, which some people may have, but a lot of people probably have just their family PC or whatever they're working with. It's going to be very similar to what the console has.
But you make a point right there that on generally speaking, on the curve, consoles approach PCs more and more with each console generation. But I am that person that every generation sinks a couple grand into his PC. I am that person.
And there will be people out there like that. That's they're gonna be there. I mean, the wife upstairs has her Final Fantasy XIV PC, which every so often we go out and get a new graphics card for, a new motherboard for, whatever needs upgrading gets upgraded, and it is a beast.
But and I guess you have to talk about the audience size too, right, Jason?
Right.
Like, I'm one of those guys that this doesn't matter to me, but I'm in a very fortunate position to be able to say, I have a high-end rig. I have the PlayStation 5. I have the Xbox Series X. I have the Nintendo Switch. So it doesn't matter to me. I'm also one of those guys that goes, you know what? I don't mind that the PC version only runs at 120 frames instead of 240 frames because there was some software concession made so that my friends on PlayStation 4 can play this too.
Right.
But there are PC dogs out there, man.
There
right?
are. And
that they're like, this game
definitely
should be running at 240, and it is not because the fucking PlayStation 4 exists, Jason.
Right, there definitely is. The other question comes into play though is, do you have, if with PlayStation PC, do you have to re-buy the games that you already have on your PlayStation 4?
That is going to be a question,
That is the main
and a
thing.
fair one, I think, because when you do look at Game Pass, Jason, you don't have that.
That's where I was going.
You know, as far back as I think the first one I bought was Sea of Thieves. That's been years ago now, but I remember that was one that they made the big deal of, you buy it for one and play it on any. You know, you play your account on any, and so that is something I feel like PlayStation has to go that way, but they don't have the in that market that Microsoft naturally has in the PC market, because they make 90% of the shit, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, they don't at the moment because, like you said, there's like Horizon Zero Dawn. I think you don't get if you have the version of that on your PlayStation, you don't get that on PC. So
Yeah,
I
Mad
don't know.
Martha pointing out very specifically now, common concession is UI and control schemes, rebindable keys, stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And none of these are bad arguments. But I just think at the end of the day, for me, it always boils down to, really? It's a fucking video game. Play it. Have fun. They're supposed to be fun. Zach saying PlayStation PC is just a publishing name. Well, yeah, we already talked about that. So Sony is going to double dip, and I think they are. I think they are.
Oh, totally.
But I also, they don't have the edge in the PC market that Microsoft actually has on them right now. So
they're going to need something then.
They're going to need something. Yeah, you're right.
At one point in time in the past, I remember Sony did have a pretty decent hardware division for computers.
They were doing like the Sony Vios,
Right,
the Sony
right.
Vio PCs.
Right, so maybe they're looking at kicking that back up. I mean, it's not the software end of it, which
I don't think they're getting
publish
into
it.
hardware. I don't think they're getting into PC hardware.
You never know.
But what they are, well, you know what? I say that, and then I remember that last week we talked about them investing millions and bajillions of dollars into a Japanese chip company, so that they could get their chip production out of Taiwan. So yeah,
there you go.
Well, they need those just for the PlayStations.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they need them for other things.
Those.
Right?
You can't make
one.
PCs.
You build them for one, and with the consoles becoming, as we go along, PCs laying on their side.
Yeah. Badass saying, what's ironic is back in the day, games were all PC, but at the time PCs weren't powerful enough to run them, so that that's why they made the damn consoles. Yeah. I mean, I remember load star, 8, 1, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you know, you know. So let's talk about what Sony did bring to the state of play, or what the third parties did bring to the state of play itself. I think some of these we've covered on MMO Bomb, because we cover all multiplayer games there. So if you're looking for more in-depth on any of the multiplayer titles, head on over to mmobomb.com, read Jason's articles, read my articles on those. Jason, you wrote up Deathverse Let It Die, which is kind of the spiritual successor to Let It Die. What's this all about? What did they bring here?
It's a battle royale with a game show kind of aesthetic to it, which kind of been done before. But
well, yeah, so I was watching the trailer, and I'm going to show the trailer right now, and I was like, okay, we saw that recently with The Calling, right? That was their whole gimmick. It was a TV show battle royale. And then, like, you just keep going further back, and I was like, well, hell, even Smash TV for my old Super Nintendo back in the day was
for the arcade back in the day.
The arcade. It wasn't a battle royale, but that's the presentation it was, crazy ass TV show. They do have some funky looking characters and stuff like that. I thought this might be a little more your thing, Jason, than mine. I know it's not the sword and board melee battle royale that you've kind of always been looking for, but it is more melee focused. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The original Let It Die got really shit on for its monetization too. That was one where you had to, like, if you actually died, you had to pay to play again or something like that. Something really insane. I don't remember what it was, but it was not well received. So they don't have
that
really
would go along with the game show theme.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a look, but it's not a day one must have for me.
And this kind of set the stage for everything we're going to see. I think they sort of, it looks all right, but
Yeah, so overall, like before we move on then, what was your kind of impression with State of Play this time? Because the last one, we all said we were pleasantly surprised that it was as engaging and had some a wide variety of interesting titles and stuff. And then like the previous three, we were like, these could have been tweets. And I feel like this one kind of skewed for me on these could have been tweets.
Yeah, there wasn't anything extremely amazing. I mean, it was fun to watch, but it was quick. I give it that. They were concise about it. It was like,
Yeah, it was like 20 minutes. And it
yeah,
was
20 minutes.
done.
Here's the games. Boom, done. Go about your day.
yeah, it's like when you were talking about, well, if only there could have been Final Fantasy 16, and I'm like, no, this was for the tinier games. So they didn't want something else overshadowing it. So it's good for those smaller developers to get out there and get a kind of a little show dedicated to them. So
yeah, and that's the only reason I thought
purpose.
16 could have been there, because they didn't say that this was their indie developer State of Play ahead of time. They said it was their third-party one.
Right.
Sure.
So, you could take that to mean exactly what you said. They're going to feature a lot of their smaller developers that are third-party, or it could, it could be anybody that isn't fucking Sony at that point is technically third-party. So, but yeah, I did get that, and I said that earlier, kind of more of an indie, a little bit bigger than an indie studio type feel to the entire show. And not all of these studios are as small personnel-wise as that sentence may make it sound, but I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to say there. For you Bug Snacks fans, I still never played this. Never played it on my PS5. I meant to. I have it. I just never played it.
I think I tweeted about this a few weeks ago. Play the damn games you buy. Stop buying more until you do.
Yeah. Well, no, this one I did it. No, that was Astro that came with it. Bug Snacks is getting a free update in 2022. So there you go.
There's your chance to play it. Now you have more content.
I guess.
I get hungry watching that game too. I hate it. I hate it. The little burger and fry bug things. I wanted the burger and fry when I watched it.
It's super cute.
I can't believe they don't have like branding.
I can't believe Damina hasn't played it yet. Like or my daughter, like the two of them in my house. I'm amazed they haven't played that damn thing yet.
I'm getting hungry now just thinking about it.
Just thinking about it. Well, you got. I mean, yeah, I can see you're wasting away and falling right off the bone.
I need more IV.
Get some of that IV going. Next up, Yod, let's go with Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
A new Five Nights at Freddy's security breach gameplay revealed. And I gotta say, I have, besides the first one, which I never beat, I played for the curiosity of it way back when it came out, and it was, being streamed everywhere, and it was the new what the hell is this? I think I played it for like 45 minutes, and I was done. I am still...
That's about how long I've played for, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still continuously amazed at how big this franchise is. Like, no doubt, it's a fucking powerhouse. Like, I'm not going to try and diminish... Yeah, well... I'm not going to try to diminish it in any way just because it's not my cup of tea. It is an absolute powerhouse making bajillions and bajillions and bajillions of dollars. And just because I don't particularly enjoy something doesn't mean it shouldn't exist. But holy hell, another one of these. Another one. This one looks like a lot more, I don't know, kind of roaming around the business than I'm just... Yeah.
Was it the original? You're just in a control room?
Yeah, you're in the security room. Yeah.
And things happen on the security feeds and stuff like that.
Yeah. This one is like, go hide in lockers and shit if you watch the gameplay.
Find Freddy's
trailer.
Freddy isolation.
It's Metal Gear Freddy.
Yeah.
It's tactical espionage in a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
By the way, I have
roaming around in Freddy's body.
19 minutes is how long I have
To live?
No, that's how long I played Five Nights.
Oh, you actually looked it up.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, are we going back to that original joke? Damn, that's a call.
I might have. Look at me. I might have 19 minutes to live.
Yeah. I mean, if it's your thing, cool. You're probably pretty freaking stoked. And it does look creepy, and it keeps continuing to do its job on that front. So Mad Martha's saying it's a testament to the power of influencers. I think I remember MatPat right on YouTube before MatPat was like as big as MatPat is now. Right, MatPat was always had a sizable YouTube following, but not millions of followers. Pre-MatPat's game theories that revolved around Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, he basically used Five Nights at Freddy's to propel his viewer base. I mean, he started doing game theory videos time after time after time about something Five Nights at Freddy's and just skyrocketed. So, I mean, the audience is there. Good for them. Congrats.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do
Nope.
it for me. What else? Death's Door. Now, this isn't a new announcement. This was just that it's coming to the PlayStation 4 and 5 in November. This is already on PC. It has been for a while now. And sidebar, they didn't say it in this announcement, but it's also coming to the Switch in November as well. They didn't say that in the state of play. But if you're interested in Death's Door, which does have a very, I kind of like its art style, you'll be able to play that next month. Kart Rider Drift and King of Fighters 15, Jason.
Well, there's one that you're super interested in.
I'm not interested in it. I'm just glad that it's coming out because I've been covering Kart Rider Drift for literally like 4 years now on MMOBomb.com. And finally, it's going to frickin' come out. So the only time I'll have to cover it is for the first look video and then like their big updates every once in a while. But God, just finally it's coming. It looked cute. If you like Mario Kart, you could do a lot worse. I can't speak to the condition that it's in now, but the beta a couple of years ago was just fine. Didn't have many maps or anything, but it was an early beta.
It beta a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even being
jeez.
facetious there, Yod. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And I know Kart Rider, the original Jason, had a huge following.
Yeah.
And then, like, went away, just disappeared. And they've been waiting for Drift. They got a mobile Kart Rider that they can mess around with now that has, like, 25 or 30 million players. So it's doing just fine. But yeah, this will be on PC and it's full crossplay and everything. King of Fighters 15. Okay, looked good. Looked good. And then we did get to see Square Enix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to say something about King of Fighters, Yod?
Yeah, I had no idea there were 15 of them. I remembered it back in the day when it was, all the SNK and all that stuff. But 15 of them, because I mean, like Street Fighter 2, you see different iterations of Street Fighter 2, but it's always Street Fighter 2. It got up to Street Fighter 5. I think they did a 6. I'm not sure. But
I don't think they've had 6 yet.
They don't have 6, no. 5.
Okay.
5 is the most recent.
But they've only gotten up to 5. And King of Fighters there is going, we're at 15.
King of Fighters is fighting with Final Fantasy to try and get the biggest number going.
Yeah,
They're working the tie now.
we want these Roman numerals. Give them to us.
Right?
Give them to us.
But yeah.
We did get to see Square Enix at the show. It was not Final Fantasy 16, but it was a pleasant surprise for me to see Star Ocean there. Star Ocean, The Divine Force, an RPG coming out in 2022. You will be able to control your other party members, for those of you that have maybe played other Star Ocean games where that wasn't the case. They do have kind of an advanced version or a revised version, I should say, of their battle system that they've used before. They're going to be playing the whole double hero thing, right? We've done this before. You play one character, swap to another character for a portion of their story, back and forth, and eventually the two shall meet at some point or intersect in the story. I love the Star Ocean franchise. I have to say that from the bottom of my heart. It's an RPG. I'm sure you're not surprised, Jason or Yod, to see me having a love of an RPG or a JRPG. Particularly, hell, add on to that a Square Enix one.
Right.
But the last one sucked. I mean, the last one was so bad. Faithlessness was awful. So I hope this one's better. I do get the impression, though, from the trailer that this is kind of going to all take place on one world, and that kind of doesn't do it for me. So I'm hopeful that it's just what they opted to show here all showcase just one particular world, because Star Ocean is supposed to be very, let's go out through the universe, Yod. Are you a Star Ocean guy? I feel like this is like right up your alley. It feels like anime. It's got great art. It's an RPG. It's Square Enix. Like, this just checks all the Yod boxes.
I remember
but I actually don't know if we've ever talked about Star Ocean
I
together.
remember the first one. I played it so long ago. But I didn't play the last one like you did, and obviously was really disappointed by it.
Yeah, it was bad.
But, this looks very interesting. For when I first saw it come on, for some reason in my brain it registered as Phantasy Star Online.
It does have that vibe, yeah.
Fantasy Star Ocean Online.
Yeah.
Well done, Jason. Well done.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that they just decided to not spoil anything.
Probably.
And
Probably.
you're gonna, get more of the other worlds and stuff after you meet up with the other player or whatever, maybe.
What about you, Jason? Star Ocean guy at all?
So I played Star Ocean 2 on the original PlayStation back like in 98, 99 or whenever that was.
Right.
I played that both campaigns, played as both characters and loved it. Then I got the sequel for the PS2 and I didn't care for it and I haven't touched the series since.
Wow, shit. That's Jason's like one strike, you're out. You're yes.
It was
Zero
that bad
tolerance.
for me. Oh, that's right.
He's never like, well, maybe that's a bad one. We'll see what they do next one. He's like, nope, I'm
No.
done. I'm checking out.
I gave him my $40 or $20, whatever it was.
I'm
That's
out.
enough.
I'm gone. I'm gone. Out of here. There were some other titles too, some smaller titles, things like that. Jason, you put one in the notes that you wanted to give a little shout out to because you thought it looked kind of neat.
Yeah. I have to read that again. I can't read. I don't have my glasses.
Little Devil Inside.
Little Devil Inside. Yeah, that was cute. That says all I've said was it just looked cute. Look, it had some. It was an RPG, but with a different kind of way to go about things and traveling and so forth. Little decisions you make. So I thought that looked kind of cute. That's all.
Well, there you go. Little special nod for Little Devil Inside.
And I have seen people play First Class Trouble. I've seen people stream.
Oh yeah,
it.
that's a social deduction kind of one. Yeah.
It's got enough of a twist from something like Among Us. I think it's kind of neat and interesting.
Yeah.
But if you get a good group for it, especially.
Yeah, you can get that now on PC, gang, for like $15 on Steam. But this is the PlayStation version coming out. I think next month. Yeah, November, isn't it? Something. Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's going to be one of the free PlayStation Plus games if you're a PlayStation Plus member. You'll be able to grab that for free.
Yeah, I did see that and thought, hey, they actually put some thought into changing the feel of the Among Us type of game.
Well, to be fair, not just that, they've been around since before like the huge push in Among Us popularity.
True.
Not that they've been fully released, but they they didn't Fortnite it.
Right.
They didn't Fortnite go, hey, Among Us is good. Let's put in a social deduction mode real quick.
Was that where I was going?
Maybe.
I still feel bad for Unfortunate Spacemen. They had it. They could have had it.
They were
really
so close.
Also,
Jason, you and I had fun with that when we community streamed that on MMO.
I played some with Mike B and his group for a while too, one day. So that was a lot of fun. Also, just want to say too, with all my glasses on, with you having kind of the pale face and the green around here and the red in the middle, looks like you're a clown.
Womp, womp, womp.
You got the green wig and the nose and everything. Yeah.
I don't have a wig on.
But it looks like because you got the green.
Oh, it's my
headset.
headsets. Oh yeah.
Headset.
I was like, I didn't dye my hair or anything. I just I just unzipped and relaxed a little bit. That's all. I think it looks amazing. Good job to Domina. Ubisoft financials came out, and Jason, they're insisting everything's okay. Nothing is on fire. Nothing is on fire. We're good. We're good.
We're making tons of money. Just forget all those games that we announced we aren't doing anything with. Like Riders Republic, which we didn't even know, which we'd forgotten about until it launched like 3 days ago.
You might think Jason's being facetious there, Yod, but he is telling the absolute truth.
Oh, I know.
So I was like always interested in Riders Republic, not like, oh my God, I got to get this, but I like Tony Hawk. I like SSX Tricky. I'm not terribly good at them, but I'm decent. I can pull off some decent combos here and there. And so I like those types of games. And I was like, oh, this might be neat, an open world MMO-ish, biking, skateboarding, skiing and all that stuff. This could be neat. But then it was delayed like a dozen times to the point that Jason's right. I totally forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was Wednesday night, I was like, Q, I'm in the middle of trying to put together a video thing. Can you possibly push an article real quick? And she's like, it's 7:00. What is it? And I was like, yeah, apparently Riders Republic came out. And since we cover multiplayer games, we want to get that news out there. Q's like, yeah, sure, I got it. But it literally, I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay, that came out. But everything else on their slate is delayed, Jason. And don't even ask about Roller Champions.
Yeah, because they don't have anything to say about it. Or is that the one where they said that they don't expect much from it, basically?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really sad.
And the Division Heartland was delayed, apparently.
Skull and Bones has had all the delays we've talked about. Prince of Persia remake got its delayed. Ghost Recon Frontline got announced, then was going to have its beta, and then got its beta delayed. Rainbow Six Extraction was delayed. Watchdog Legions, before it came out, had all those delays. I mean, it's just over and over. And then on top of Yod, they've had the toxic workplace culture stuff, the
Yep.
same type of stuff that Blizzard's being accused
not
of.
not enough for their State Department to step in, though.
Right, right.
And what's that I'm hearing? Wait, I'm hearing something. I'm hearing.
Oh,
it's-
you
it sounds
getting breaking news?
It sounds like crickets. I believe it might be the news of Hyperscape. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, Hyperscape. Well, apparently not everybody either is on board with their whole free-to-play idea either, like their free-to-play focus. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Because of Hyperscape.
Maybe.
And just again, all the other stuff. They have too much going on right now. They're trying to launch everything.
They
and
do.
they're-
They have a ton going on.
Well, when you keep pushing the games back and back and back and back, eventually it butts up to the other game you want to release.
Yeah.
It doesn't count like they're huge for their stuff like Assassin's Creed or whatever. Which they said Valhalla was amazing. We're made second biggest moneymaker of anything they've ever done. So
Yeah, and now they want to also get into like blockchain and crypto and
why not?
NFT and you know what? This is one of those things, and Jason and I have debated this back and forth. Like in theory, blockchain technology in gaming could be a very, very cool thing. The problem is you need too many big players that have no interest in playing. It would be very cool for blockchain technology to be like, hey, Jason, you've got that CSGO skin that I really would like, but you can't get it anymore, blah, 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 blah. I have a Hearthstone card back that you can't get anymore. How about we trade? Like, because we actually own those digital goods through the blockchain technology or the crypto style technology. That is very, very cool and very equitable, and everything has as much value as the traders are going to give to it. It creates that market. That is very, very cool.
But
yeah, I need Blizzard to be part of this to allow me to own those goods. You need Valve to do it and there's just no incentive for the big players to play along together right now.
Right.
Until there is a big enough incentive. We've seen it with some smaller companies that have tried to bring on a couple different games here and there. But from a player standpoint, it sounds really cool, but none of the companies you play games for do it. And so, okay, it sounds cool, but and so there's no reason for the big companies to do it. It's very it could be cool. It could be cool. Zach says, my friend Jor Raptor, who covers Ubisoft games, thinks they're going through a boom cycle right now, which of course would lead to a bust since they're going to get greedy. They've done it before, so yeah. I mean, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. And you know what? Any game that ever fucking does this to me, Yod, is immediately getting uninstalled. Like, I'm not even gonna think about it. Uninstalled. And if I have the capabilities to still, I'm filing for a refund. And don't get me wrong, I get what they're going for here. I get the character that Ubisoft is portraying in Far Cry 6, is very aggressive, very smarmy, very fuck you. I get it. I totally get it. And this probably seemed like a cool little idea of their bad guy being smarmy. But if you email me and you tell me that the bad guy has been able to do whatever they want to do because you've only played for 3 hours, surely you can do better than this. Uninstall. I'm done. Fuck you.
I mean,
now you're harassing me to play your game.
At least he's emailing you, not texting you.
And the reason it's 3 hours because the refund window is after 2. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason, I just feel like at the bottom of this, it should remind me about my car's warranty.
No, because this is actually legit. You can actually play the game. You can click on a link here; it'll take you to the game or whatever, as opposed to whatever. I don't hate this.
I get what they were doing. Like, I think some people were just like, "This is ridiculous." I get what they're doing. It just kind of doesn't come off the right way for me personally. I'm not grievously offended by it, but it is enough to make me go, okay, I got what you were trying to do, but this just comes off wrong. I don't want to play anymore.
I don't hate it, but we have to say no to it. Also, I think I'm for. No, I'm not. We have to say no to it because otherwise, every game will do this.
Right.
And you'll
Right.
get
Yeah.
50 emails from your game saying, "Why haven't you played lately?"
Yeah.
So that's why we have to reject it.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting angle to have the character do it, because like a little while earlier, both I got an email from Ion that they're dropping something or something that I should go play. Apparently they had like a legacy server set up or something, and I talked to Q about it, and she said she actually got a physical iPod in the mail.
Yep.
With their original promo video.
Well, that was
on it.
that was a press thing. So I mean,
that was a press
that's-
thing, though. Yeah. She
But,
got
I
that
mean-
for MMO because she works for MMO Bomb, and I assigned her
Right.
the thing. Yeah.
Right, but I got an email from them, and I haven't touched Ion in like going on 8 years.
Well, surely you can do better than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Surely,
So the angle
surely
of
you can do
having the
better.
character come in and go, "Hey, man," is an interesting angle to it.
I get
Although I'll
I
say
get
though,
it. I just get enough email. I don't need my games now emailing me, reminding me to play them.
what I'm annoyed by the most though is like whenever you play an MMORPG, or you talk to some quest guy, he's like, "Oh, please kill the orcs because they're ravaging our farmlands." Whatever. You're like, where? They're not even anywhere near. And if I don't kill the orcs, are your farms going to get worse? No. If I kill the orcs, are your farms going to get better? No. So this guy's saying, "Hey, I'm running the island. I'm doing whatever I want." I'm like, dude, you're off. I haven't blew you up. You're not doing shit.
So
I remember, Jason, back in the day when Guild Wars was coming out, that was like, oh, that is a cool big deal feature.
Sure.
You know, where the different quests the farm goes away if you don't protect it from
right.
the Minotaurs type stuff.
Granted that it comes back an hour later. But
Yeah,
at
then
least
it's back
gone
an
for
hour
a while.
later. It's gone for a little bit.
I
Hey.
was gonna say, so you want him to actually take over the island if you don't play, and you
No,
No,
take
it's
take over
back
my
off.
on, like 5
computer.
years
There you
later?
go. Take over my computer.
Yeah, oh God, don't. No, Ubisoft needs the processing power if they're going to go into blockchain. Don't tell them to do that,
Yeah, right.
Jason. Don't tell them to do that. Hey, they're making a Quiet Place video game based on the movie series, I guess I should say, since there's 2. Yeah, I mean, we don't know a lot about this one. I know my daughter's already excited. I'm like, we don't know anything, right? Like, in my mind, this has to be a stealth action horror title or nothing. And Game Informer is saying that it does take place in the same universe as the films, but tells an original story. So if you've seen the movies, doesn't matter. It's going to be a different story.
Right.
And style-wise, it is a single-player, story-driven horror adventure, but that's it. Like, that's all.
Okay.
So
I thought I saw it in there that it's gonna take place before the movies. Like when
I
the
don't.
critters are just taking over, which means it could
I
be a
didn't see
survival
that.
horror.
I didn't see that. Maybe.
Hmm.
Maybe. But, you might be right. I didn't see that.
I
know-
thought I remember reading. I could be totally wrong. Like I said, I'm hopped.
Yeah,
up on
because Quiet
vaccines
Place
right
happens, and then Quiet Place 2 is actually a prequel to Quiet Place.
now. Okay.
You know, that's the beginning of them, whatever those creatures are, arriving.
I need to watch those sometime.
Yeah, I need to
They're
watch
they're
it too.
worth it. The first one is definitely worth it. The first one, Jason, we saw in the theaters, and my daughter was like absolutely bawling at the end. Like, but it is a tense, suspenseful movie and definitely worth watching. If the first one interests you, then the second one is also worth watching. If you're bored by the first one, don't even bother with the second one.
That's kind of how I treat movie sequels.
No, that's not how. Yeah, that's exactly how you treat video games too. Nope, the second one sucked. I'm done. I'm done.
Yep.
One
I'm
and done.
done.
That's all they get.
Why
I'm
would you
outta
do
here.
otherwise? Why would you be like, man, I hated that movie. God, I got to see the sequel.
Well, I mean, when you're
who does
talking about
that?
straight sequels, then yeah, you're right. But I feel like, you know, if one Final Fantasy didn't strike your fancy, would you never ever play another Final Fantasy? That seems kind of silly to me. They're not directly related to each other.
I never played an Assassin's Creed since the first one because I didn't like it.
Well, that's because they're all the same. They're the exact fucking same. Like
Until
the
you get to
exact
Odyssey.
same.
Dragon
You
Age.
get the
Oh!
Dragon Age also. Yeah.
Ubisoft's call, they did confirm that that's not going to be free to play. Assassin's Creed, not Infinite. That's Halo.
That was Infinity.
Infinity. Yeah. That will not be free to play. Yves Guillemot said that on the call. So yeah, keep your eye out for that. Mario Party Superstars did come out yesterday. Anybody pick it up?
Nope.
I did.
No, I don't have a Switch.
Of course
I
you
did.
did.
Of course
I
you
did.
did.
I
Another
I
game you're
picked
not
it
gonna
up.
play.
Oh, I'm gonna play it after this show. What the fuck are you
Okay.
talking about? Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
playing that
Are
one
you
right
gonna
after the
injure
show.
yourself?
I also grabbed Mario, or not Mario, Metroid Dread while I was there too. Yad, am I going to injure myself? I know why you're asking. Go ahead, let everybody know.
So apparently there's a game mechanic in the Mario Party from the same one that was in the classic one on, what was it, N64,
Yeah,
where it was a tactic to spin the little controller
yeah, the
with the
controller
palm of your
stick.
hand.
Yeah, I used to
Yeah, the
do it.
joystick with the palm of your hand, to the point where you would get damage on the palm
Yeah,
of your hand.
I didn't do that, and you know why? Because I'm not stupid.
But
Well,
apparently
you weren't
people did.
competitive enough.
The first
obviously.
time I did this, and I was like, that hurts. I was like, I guess we're done for a little while.
But
Like,
apparently people did, and
I
instead of
remember, like
changing
people
the
getting
mechanic,
blisters and
Yeah,
holes in their
so-
hands and suing Nintendo over it.
So kind
but
of like me in
rather
video
than
games.
changing the mechanic for the new one, they decided to just slap a warning on it.
Yeah.
Well, remember they used to have the repetitive strain warning or whatever on various stuff. Yeah, same
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember when I played Blades of Steel. To get the best,
Blades of Steel.
to get the best quick tapping, I did this sort of like vibrating thing with my thumb, and I actually wanted like straining my wrist to do it. So
Mad Martha, this is the original hand destroyer track and field in the arcades.
Oh, yeah.
Or on the NES pad, remember? For the track and field on that. You'd be running and running, and then you're just like, fuck this. With your hands on the damn pad.
I think Caveman Games was another one where you have to.
Yeah. God, we're old. Yeah, so they left that type of gameplay in there and just said, we'll give you a warning this time.
Yeah.
Give you a warning.
There's a warning. It's up to you now.
All right, so last thing before we go to games of the week, I asked the hosts not to click on this link in the show notes. Did both of you abide by that?
I did.
I did.
Okay.
Although considering the topic, I'm probably not going to get it because it's not something. I want.
You might.
All right.
Because there's just a little piece in here that I was like, I could pose that as a trivia question before we go to games of the week. So news-wise, on this front from Capcom, Resident Evil Village has hit 5 million units faster than Resident Evil 7 did.
Yep.
So it makes it's selling faster. It still has a while to go before it catches up to the 10 million, over 10 million that Resident Evil 7 has, but it's gotten to the 5 million mark much faster. So that makes Resident Evil Village Capcom's 10th best-selling game in company history. 1998's Resident Evil 2 sold 4.96 million units and was previously number 10 on the list. So now Village bumps RE2 off of the list. What I want to ask you, gentlemen. Oh, and by the way, there is going to be some upcoming free DLC for Resident Evil Village. We don't know if it's going to be content or, costumes. Like, we don't know what, but they said there's going to be some free DLC coming up. Capcom's best-selling game, if Resident Evil Village is number 10, has sold more than 20 million copies. Can you name it?
Capcom. Just Capcom.
Just Capcom in general,
Okay.
yeah. Capcom's, because this makes Resident Evil Village Capcom overall's 10th best-selling title. Not Resident Evil title, just title.
Right.
So Capcom's overall best-selling game has sold more than 20 million copies. What game is it? Remember, it doesn't have to, it may be, but it doesn't have to be a Resident Evil title. It's all of Capcom's library. You guys take a second. What do we got in chat? Zach saying Resident Evil 4. Mad Martha saying Smash. Smash isn't Capcom.
I was
Nintendo.
thinking.
Street Fighter is Capcom.
That's what I was thinking of, something in the Street Fighter vein, but it's like which one? It could be like I thought the original Street Fighter 2 Turbo, that came out for the Super NES, did extremely well. If you're asking a trivia question, I'm going to go with that.
So you're going with Super Street Fighter 2.
Or
I'm
Super
gonna
Street
say
Fighter
Mega
2
Man.
Turbo, whatever it was.
Okay.
That was the other one I was thinking of, the other franchise, but
Yeah. I'm going to say Mega
I'm
Man.
going with Street Fighter.
Gonna say Mega Man.
Mhm.
Okay. Neither one of you got it.
Well,
Really?
do we have the right
Yeah.
franchises?
You do not.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Do not.
What do we have then?
Think more recent than both. I mean, it's been around for a while, but it was pretty niche until the last few years.
Oh,
because,
Monster Hunter World?
Yeah. Yep, you
Okay.
got it. Monster Hunter World.
Monster Hunter World.
Yep. Monster Hunter's been around for a while, and I've
It
played
has.
all of them, but it really exploded with World. That is their best-selling game of all time right now. Let's slide over and do Games of the Week. See, gentlemen, I found a way to get Jeopardy into this show. If you didn't watch the Relic Grind this past Thursday, our Final Fantasy 14/Square Enix show, we did Final Fantasy Jeopardy with Kronos against Tark and had guest Mr. Happy compete as well. That's up on YouTube and on ReadyCheckRadio.com and available on Spotify. And I made sure that they weren't allowed to buzz in until I finished reading the questions so you Spotify listeners could actually hear all the questions. We're going to finish up today with our Games of the Week. This is where each of the three hosts recommends a game to you. Could be a video game, a board game, I don't know, a mobile game, whatever the hell they're playing, played, or haven't played, or want to check out, or just think you should check out. And you let us know in the comments on ReadyCheckRadio.com or on YouTube who gave the best recommendation. I'm going to go first, and I'm actually... You might think I'm gonna give it to Mario Party Superstars, but I haven't played it yet, so I do want to refrain from that a little bit. I am going to give it to Riders Republic. I had talked before about how I do like that type of game, those types of games, and I don't know how long this will keep me, but it's not because there's not a shortage of shit to do. Like, I literally only have 2 small sections of the map unlocked, and I'm still like, I don't know what I should go do next. And there's so much more of the map that I haven't. It's open world. If I want to just go bike and find it all, I can. But it is tremendous amounts of fun. If you like, Tony Hawk, SSX Tricky, those types of games, whether they be downhill racing or trick-based, there's a little bit of both across all the categories. And there's just some crazy ragdoll physics. And Jason enjoyed watching me rocket pack or wingsuit myself right into a cliffside, which I do quite often. Yeah, because you can rewind it to backtrack a little bit. It is a lot of fun. I think they have something pretty nifty here. It's the first MMO X games I can think of where you just literally you pull the map up and you just see icons for all the players wherever they are on the map, and literally you can go down a little river that just a minute ago you were doing an event on, and you will see people fly over you that are doing that same race that you were just doing. So it's very, very cool. Very well done in some fronts. Some room for improvement. It is rage-inducing. So, yes, Ninja, absolutely. That's going to be my recommendation, Riders Republic. What do you got, Jason?
Yeah, I'm not kidding when I compared it to free rounds. It does remind me of that. The free exploration, like mini games or whatever, everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to give my game of the week to Hunt Showdown, which I've been playing a lot of. Just got about a week ago. And it's really fun. It's a sort of battle royale-ish, but also with a strong PvE element. So a little like how I think they're going to do the cycle with the, you have to get out alive sort of thing. But really cool, very spooky, great aesthetic, great sound and graphics. So yeah, check it out. It's still on sale. It's like another 2 days, 50% off on Steam. So pick it up if you are into that sort of thing.
All right, we got Hunt Showdown, Riders Republic. What do you got, Yad?
I am going to go with Alien Isolation.
Good game. Faye was streaming it on this channel yesterday.
Yep, that's what reminded me of it.
Or Thursday.
It's Halloween.
Yeah.
Alien Isolation. I mean, you got your suspense, you get your gore with the aliens. It's good. Crawl
it's
around
a good game.
Air ducks.
My game is spooky too. It's got monsters and ghosts and world. You just have crazy X
all
Games
three of
people,
us
whatever.
here.
You're like the game's not spooky.
Yeah, all three of us here have pretty good recommendations. I'm not sure who wins this day.
Yeah.
Like last week, I was sure. I was like, yeah, well, okay. But this week, I don't know. Let us know. You gotta settle it in the comments. Chat, by the way, don't go anywhere. Right after this stream, we've got another one of our streamers coming up. It's Torchwick. Who? What you got your plague mask back on? That means you did not finish Vagrant Story last week, huh?
What told you that?
I mean, because you had the plague mask on last week for Vagrant Story, so I feel like you would have
for Halloween's sake.
I feel like you would have changed to something else, but yeah. So you are at the last boss,
wrong,
but things didn't go as planned last week, huh?
No, they didn't.
Got your ass kicked.
Just a little bit.
So you're going to try and finish it off today, and if you do, what are we playing?
We'll be moving on to Castlevania Symphony of the Night, finally.
Sticking with a little Halloween. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, chat, don't go anywhere. Torchwick will be live right after the show. We'll just need like 15 seconds to relabel everything. We will, of course, be back next Thursday with the Relic Grind and Saturday with Gaming Gumbo right here on Ready Check Radio. Remember, Final Fantasy TCG fans, on our Monday stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be doing a spoiler for the Crystal Dominion set. Thank you again to Square Enix for sending us a spoiler. So if you're watching on YouTube, don't want to miss that stream. Until then, Yod, where can everybody find you?
Yada Artworks on Twitter, Yada Artworks on Facebook, and right here on Gaming Gumbo.
Jason.
I'm on Twitter at Winter and Foremost, streaming at twitch.tv/JasonWinter, and also I think in the local emergency room because I'm kind of running out of blood here.
You gotta go, brother. You gotta go. I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me personally there at MagicMan1, but more importantly, follow at RC Radio so you get a tweet every time we go live with one of our many shows or streamers. Stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.